Hello, my name is Molan Lev, and today I'm going to evaluate our event, which is called the Compulsory Event, and me and five colleagues of mine organized it on 21st of March. So what is event evaluation and why is it important? Uh, Event evaluation is an activity that seeks to understand and measure the extent to which an event has succeeded in achieving its purpose. Our purpose was to raise awareness for Tiny Toons charity and raise funds to help the people in need. Why is it important? It is important because you can outline positive and negative outcomes of your event. There are four main processes every project manager needs to go through in order to create a successful event, and today I'm going to go through all of them and critically compare each process to how we approached it and evaluate our event. So the first one is the initiating process, and is basically the first steps you take to create your event. Our first steps were coming up with the idea. We had a few setbacks with our ideas. We first had a couple of ideas which didn't work out, and then we came up with this one to create a live music event in the Squires Coffee. Then we set our target market. The Coventry University students were our main target. Then the special interest societies from the university, like Psychology Society, the Voice Society, the Acoustic Society as well. People with disabilities were also our target market because the charity's good cause is focused on this one. And the local community is also our target market. The next step was to identify our stakeholders, and the first one is the venue, the Squires Coffee, then the charity Tiny Tims, then the Coventry University Societies, and then the Hills FM radio in Coventry. Our customers were also our stakeholders, and obviously us, the organizers. Then the third step was to came up with our mission statement, and as you can see, our mission statement was our vision is to create a safe, warm, and inclusive event that will bring students of Coventry University together and raise awareness of Tiny Tim's charity. The second one is the planning process. The planning process consists of those processes performed to establish the total scope of the effort, define and refine the objectives, and develop the course of action required to attain those objectives. So in this picture here, you can see the processes we went through with our event. So the first one was to set our budget. We basically didn't have any budget because we're students and we had to gather up our own money and then from our money then do the whole event. Second one, we went to find the venue, we looked through it and we decided that the Squires Coffee would be a good fit because it's in the city center, everyone knows it, it's quite famous around town, and we just thought it would be perfect for our event. Then we thought about the marketing strategy. It's basically through social media, all of the SEM and other students' pages. Um, we had posters, leaflets. We communicated with societies from our university. We advertised it as well on the Hills Radio in Coventry, which I think was one of our unique selling points, as probably no one else thought about this. Then we set the ticket price, which was £1, and we also had a few places around the venue where people could just go and donate as much money as they want. Then we started to promote the event through the social media. We started posting, we started sharing pages, started sharing posts, went to city center, gave out leaflets, went to the library, put some leaflets there. I put some leaflets around my street in the houses. Yeah, then we connected with our main stakeholders, obviously the venue. We went there a couple of times, talked with them, we consulted with them for different things like health and safety. For example, I had the part for health and safety and risk assessment, so I went a couple of times there to talk through the whole process of how like the event go and if we're gonna have any problems and stuff like that with the waitresses, the managers. We communicated like what could go wrong and what could not, so how we could react if something goes wrong, because they're always there. They're like every day there, and they know a lot more of the venue than us. So it was really helpful talking to them, and they really helped us to create the risk assessment. Then the contingency planning, it's pretty much what could go wrong. For example, if one of the bands didn't show up, and we actually had a bit of a problem with that because we had the acoustic society bringing us the equipment like the speakers, the microphones, and everything, and they came up like a bit late. I remember we had an arrangement, and they said they would be in the venue at 5:30, as our event started at 6:30, I think. But they came a bit late. We were just lucky that uh, guests started arriving quite late. The third process of creating a successful event is the executing process, and it's probably as vital as the planning one. It consists of those processes performed to complete the work defined in the project management plan to satisfy the project specifications. Our achievements were: we raised awareness for Tiny Toons charity as much as we could. We donated £74 to the charity, and this is not as much as we should have donated, but that's probably because of our low entry, which was £1. Um, then we provided the opportunity to all the performers and the guest speakers to perform and be heard and be seen. Here in the picture you could see our poster on the top right hand side. On the left hand side you could see basically that's like a questionnaire thing. We gave it to our guests. We asked them nicely to give us an idea of what they think about our event, how did they heard about the event, and what was the best part of it, what was the worst part, like what if they want any change, what would they like, if they could change anything about it, what would it be? So that kind of thing. And the big picture on the bottom is our mood board. Basically, one of my colleagues created it, and as you can see, it says "I am grateful for," and there's a blank space within everywhere. Like everyone could just go and write what they're grateful for. And obviously, the Tiny Toons Children's Center, and that's the main thing that we're all grateful for, because they help all those people in need and all the people with disabilities, so they're doing a great job at the moment. The last process is the closing process, obviously. It consists of those processes performed to finalize all activities across all project management groups to formally complete the project, phase, or contractual obligations. So how we closed our event, it was pretty much informal. Basically, we thanked everyone for coming. We thanked the guest speakers. We thanked the hostess. Um, we invited everyone to like our Facebook page and follow it if there are any future events, if possible. So if I was to run the compulsory event again, what would I do? Basically, I would start the whole planning process a lot earlier, because we lacked a bit of time, and if we could do this again, we would start doing it earlier. I would form the key connections with stakeholders a lot earlier. I would start preparing the risk assessment from the beginning, as we had a little bit of problem. A drunk person came in the venue and we didn't have security. The venue told us they had security, but something happened and the doors kind of locked, so the security guy couldn't come in, and one of my colleagues called the police. They came quite fast and they took him away. There wasn't anything big of an issue or anything like that. So here you can see the skills which I developed through the help of my team and our stakeholders. Basically, team building skills, communication, negotiation skills, leadership, influencing, and decision making skills. Here's my list of references. Thank you for your time.